Okay, so here's another silly video about what I'm going to talk about at this moment. Okay, I was able to say a lot of things that made sense to me before, and I'm hoping I could continue making sense to me about what I'm going to talk about. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Maybe we should go back to a little bit before. A developing a exoskeleton. In other words, an outer layer for your body. It's almost like an armor, but you're not going into a battle, but you are. Because if you're in construction or physical labor, if you have to lift anything, you are going into battle with gravity. With gravity being aggressive, meaning things might fall on you. But what if you had an exoskeleton to help you not get crushed from those things? What if we are ants, right? Think of us as ants without the hardcore exoskeleton that the ants have, or the bugs have. I think the ant's exoskeleton is very advanced for their body. So, what if the ants didn't have the exoskeleton? Would they be that strong? Would they be able to lift, like, whatever the times their weight and fall from the highest skies and then just land on the floor like nothing happened? Gravity does not kill ants. Well, at least to my knowledge. Whatchamacallit? Pressure will kill the ants, obviously. We step on them, we could squish on the ants. But think about the force that needs compared to the PSI that they could withstand. I mean, I guess there's much bigger pressure, and we might be like millions of times heavier than the ants, and put a little bit of pressure. Of course, they're gonna die. But what if it was twice as much pressure with the exoskeleton? I don't think so, because they could lift. The gravity will, I know for sure. So, if we had an exoskeleton that covers our flesh, and still be mobile and motorized to live stronger, or sometimes faster. I mean, being faster and stronger, and being able to adjust or measure the necessary strength. I think it's easier than having a smartphone. I really think so. Because having me on the screen, being able to record, me being able to upload this in a YouTube, and all that, just having the smartphone, I think this has a lot more going on than simple motors acting different ways. Maybe it's all about the material, the strength that we have to withal There's always that same gravity involved. Always fighting against the gravity. I guess bigger the you are, the heavier the gravity will go. But one thing that I cannot understand is I could be 1,000,000,000 pounds and there's a 1 pound ball. And if you drop us from the same height, we will land at the same time. That's mind-boggling. We'll have different impacts, but we'll be landing at the same time. As long as there's no air, if you take the air portion out, a pound of solid ball will land at the same time as the 10 million pounds of solid ball. Proven. Mind-boggling. A pound solid ball might land faster because there's less air that they have to fight. Mind-boggling. Only thing between the gravity and the pull of the gravity is matter. Sometimes it's air, sometimes it's liquid, sometimes it's steel. I'm still gonna pull. Maybe we'll meet one day, but it might take 10 million years. The gravity is always gonna be there. The matter will always try to stop it. It's gravity over matter. Light and moon, gravity over matter. I didn't have to learn it from the textbook. I totally understand now. It's always going to be gravity over matter. If you could defy the gravity, you can, well, vice versa. But overcoming matter and gravity is, you have to be able to do either, to do both, or do both to do either. But sometimes you only need to do one. If you overcome one, you overcome both. When you overcome both, it's always better. Tommy, I know you're a little bit narcissistic, son of a bitch, don't know how to act sometimes, and you try to twist things around and it doesn't work a lot of the times, and it works some of the times, and you've been there, done that, and then you go back, you try again, and you fail sometimes, and you succeed again, and then but it's not good enough, and then you go back, up and downs. I guess that's life. But I guess it's when you finally go. When you finally go. And the legacy that you leave behind. It might take you a year, it might take you a lifetime, it might take you 3 lifetimes, but having done it is not as important as doing it now. Not even again. You never that you look at, I don't know. I always believe tigers leave their leather, but humans leave their name. Heroes leave their name. Or even vigilantes or criminals. You know, I don't know. Don't let anybody judge you, okay? You gotta judge yourself. Are you a good guy to you? What do you see yourself as a third person? What do you see yourself as a third person? When you look at yourself, okay, it doesn't matter if you're you. You gotta be you. Only person knows you close to 100%. I say close because you think you know 100%, but you never do. You don't even know yourself. So who's gonna know you? But your past makes you. You're just the commodity of your past. You're the fruit of your past. Okay. So if you know yourself, you're the only judge that could judge you for who you are, because you're different to everybody else. You're different to your mom. You're different to your dad. You're different to your sister. You're even different to yourself sometimes. But only person that knows you when you're naked in the bathtub, okay, maybe masturbating, right? Thinking of the worst, most sexual dreams that you have, and you know, being horny as you are, and dirty as you want to be. Only you know that. Be honest with yourself. That's the beginning of being honest to the rest of your world. This is your world. When you die, all this goes. When you go to sleep, it disappears and reappears again. Reappears in the morning. Then, you'll realize. Right now, it's going to be very different from tomorrow. It's all about the chemistry in your brain, the chemical process that you want to perceive. You narcissistic bastard, you. I wanted to say that to myself because you are. You have to love yourself first. It's an excuse being narcissistic, but there's some truth to it. Everybody want to find that true love, and when they do, they promise the world and just get disappointed after time. There's more disappointment. Like it seems like you tend to remember the bad things. And you do remember the good things, but you give more credit towards the bad things. It's sad. But when it comes to yourself, you give your credit towards more of the good things. Much more credit. There's a whole saying, like, when you look at yourself, you look at yourself 5 times more better looking than how other people might perceive you. So I'm in trouble. I am narcissistic, but I'm realistic, okay? So I know I'm not the best looking guy, but I do have my charisma, I guess, in a way. It oozes out like different times. But I have my share of love and wanting, and so I can't, well, put it this way, I'm not that good looking, but I'm not that ugly. Somewhere in the middle, it really depends on the chemistry that we have. But I hope one day somebody could look at me the way I look at myself, and give me credit for it. I don't think I'm a bad guy, even sometimes that I do bad things, At least I give that to myself. My heart is soft, meaning I'd rather do good things than harm to other people, even to my enemy. When you think about it, who's really your enemy? That's all, folks. For now.